The giant sable is a rare antelope that only exists in Angola. Many consider it to be the most beautiful of all antelopes, and it is deservedly a national icon in Angola. Only adult male giant sables are black, whilst the females and young animals are mostly brown. Despite the name, giant sable are not significantly larger than the other sable, and the term giant refers to the horns of bulls, which can grow much longer than in other subspecies of sable. In addition to their horn length, giant sable antelopes have a unique facial mask to differentiate them from other types of antelope. Compared to other species of sable, their faces are darker and white preorbital spots stand out more prominently, while common sable species show a clear white muzzle stripe. The giant sable antelope exists in two conservation areas: Kangandala National Park, 30 kilometers southeast of Malange City, and Luandu Strict Nature Reserve, further south in Malange Province and extending slightly to the province of Bié. Unfortunately, the giant sable antelope is critically threatened with extinction. In the 70s, the population was estimated in 2,500 antelopes. Currently, they are less than 100. Poaching with traps and firearms was the main cause for this drastic reduction and continues to be the most serious threat to the survival of the national symbol. In Luandu Reserve, there is widespread use of snare traps around waterholes where sable gather to drink in the dry season. Snare traps do not discriminate when it comes to prey, and they often cause serious leg injuries or death of animals. The vast majority of the poaching in the region is to feed local communities, but is actually driven by either demand for bushmeat in the cities or to supply illegal diamond mining outfits established in the reserve. In 2002, many people believed the giant sable antelope had become extinct during the war. Ground expeditions and aerial surveys were conducted in both conservation areas. The Giant Sable Conservation Project started in 2003, launched by CEIC, the Scientific Research Center of the Catholic University of Angola. Today, supervised by the Ministry of Environment in partnership with the government of the province of Malange, the project has activities implemented by the Kissama Foundation under the coordination of Pedro Vaz Pinto. The creation of the Shepherds Program in 2004 resulted in the training of 20 members of resident communities who became the guardians of Kangandala National Park. The placement of trap cameras to detect wildlife activated by infrared allowed the publication of the first photos of giant sable antelope in 2005. These were the first in more than 20 years. Trap cameras are still used extensively for animal monitoring in Kangandala National Park. Shortly after, it became evident that there was only one surviving herd in Kangandala, reduced to 9 adult females and, quite alarmingly, without males. In the absence of males, the sable female started breeding with a closely related species, the roan antelope, producing sterile hybrids. Extinction was imminent. To tackle the crisis, an emergency plan was devised, and a fenced sanctuary was built to contain all pure females in the park. As there were no males in the herd, an adult male would have to come from the Luandu Reserve. This is how Duarte, a giant sable bull, was brought from Luandu Reserve, where the intervention of the National Air Force proved instrumental. Duarte would start the breeding in the sanctuary. In 2011, another capture operation was carried out, resulting in the translocation of 2 new males and 6 young females from Luandu Reserve to Kangandala Park, thus boosting the breeding nucleus. With the objective of monitoring the few surviving herds in Luandu Reserve, in 2013, a third capture operation allowed the handling and marking of 20 sable, male and female, with VHF and GPS collars. The project intends to pursue the study of the surviving populations, contribute to their effective protection, and increase reproduction in the areas of origin. Up to this moment, the conservation project has achieved the following results: refurbishment of the headquarters infrastructures in Kangandala National Park, construction of a 4,000-hectare fenced sanctuary where the population grew in 2013 to 30 animals, of which 15 were born in the sanctuary. 3 successful capture operations where many giant sable were darted, translocated, or collared. The use of tracking colors in individuals from 3 different herds in Luanda Reserve. Environmental awareness and educational programs featuring seminars for different social groups and detailed information about the giant sable. The effective protection of the giant sable antelope shall contribute in the near future to the improvement of the working and living conditions of resident communities, to the economic development in the region, and also to deepen the pride of the Angolan people in saving the most famous national symbol. Let's save the giant sable.